everyone. Desert Gold. Another exciting day. Got a much anticipated delivery in the mail yesterday. Part that I've been waiting for my SBR build for quite a while. Get to that in a second, but prior to that I was trying to occupy my time taking my mind off of the wait period for this part, and I was playing around with different ideas for, I guess you could just say it, just screwing around a little bit. And ever since I was a kid, I always, my favorite color was candy apple red. I think it just made me think of the candy apples I would eat as a kid, and I just thought it was a neat color. So I was just kind of messing around, putting candy apple coloring or treatment on some parts like dust cover, and I was going to actually do that. And what I wound up doing was actually taking my phase 5 bolt assist lever and doing that. I think it kind of turned out pretty nice. It stands out really, really well against that dark black background. I was going to do the dust cover also, but I went to a more practical approach on that issue, and I think you can kind of agree with me on that. Yes, yippee-ki-yay. Anyway, things are progressing, and as you can see, still no trigger, but we're about to remedy that. That's what I was referring to as excitement in the mail. I did finally get, after almost a little over 2 months, from Franklin Armory. This is their BFS trigger or binary firing system. I was debating whether to go with Franklin's or Fostech's Echo. You know, they're both pretty similar in price. This one's a little more reasonable. Franklin Armory is the originator of the concept, and I felt safer with that. The 2 times I called Fostech to get any information or further questions answered, all I got was their voicemail telling me to leave a message. And the couple of times that I called Franklin, there was always a live person to answer the phone. Secondly, when I text messaged both companies, Franklin and Fostech, Franklin, representative from Franklin, within the same day answered my text, which was remarkable, and followed up with subsequent answers to questions that I had within the same day. To this date, Fostech has yet to answer my first response or first question that I sent them on the 28th of last month. For me, if you're spending $400 to $500 for a trigger, you want to make sure that there's a strong customer service background, or somebody you can follow up, count on to be there if there's any issues, and if there's questions that you need answered. You don't want to sit there and wait for a response when you're anxious to get your project done. So Franklin was my choice. So let's see what we've got in the box here. Nice, concise little package. And in the package, you've got, let's see if I can get this in focus, the trigger system, which you see down here. A new safety selector. This is a 3-position safety selector. A decal to put on before you put your safety selector on to indicate the different positions from safe, semi, and the third position now being binary. And finally, they give you some shims, peelable shims. Let me put this in focus. Peelable shims to adjust for different seating depths in your lower receiver. Some receivers might require some shimming, others might not. Some might require some machining, others might not. They offer a installation service. It adds an extra $100 to the price. If you're unsure about how to approach mounting your new trigger in your receiver, I would probably recommend that. The box also includes pretty detailed instruction sequence and some disclaimers and whatnot. Finally, a decal. I'm probably going to do an install video on this, as there's very few, if any, install videos on YouTube for the binary trigger from Franklin. Pretty straightforward. If you've ever put in a trigger group from, say, Tindy or somebody like that, it's pretty much the same deal. You drop it in. You have to pay pretty close attention to seating depth. We'll get into that in the install video. But for right now, I am jazzed. My last part to fulfill the project is my low mass bolt carrier from Adams Arms that I'm still waiting on, and then we are ready to go to the range. So here it is, the binary trigger system for the SBR that I'm getting close to finishing. We'll proceed to the next part on the install. For now, everybody have a good afternoon. It's a little warm here today, getting closer to the 90s. So I think it's a good day to have some cold beer and install a trigger. What do you think? For now, everybody have a good day. Have fun, be safe. Desert Gold out.